I'm here with Eric Strabel. He's the 2012 men's champion of the Equinox Marathon. And he was here 2 years ago, and your time 2 years ago was 2:52?
2:55.
2:55. So you improved by 10 minutes, which is about 20 seconds a mile, I guess. What was your first race like compared to this one, and what accounted for the difference? Was it just fitness or other things? Or
Well, 2 years ago, I decided to race it back in March of that year, and I was really gunning for it. And then I had just gotten sick for a couple weeks in August and early part of September, so I was, out of my rhythm. But I still wanted to come up and experience it. So, and I did, and I had a great experience. But between the
did
start,
Matias win that race?
He did.
By
3-4
minutes? Okay.
Yeah, I never really challenged him. He was off the front from the very beginning. I knew I was going to challenge him. It was kind of like a fast long run that day. Yeah, but I still enjoyed it though.
Yeah. And then now you've taken 10 minutes off.
Yeah, and this year I was having some of the best races of my life recently. So I decided, well, I may not be in ideal shape for running on pavement in flat conditions, but we'll see what I can do, because who knows, maybe I'll never be as fit as this. So,
Yep.
so I got into it, and I was worried about the first 8 miles and the last 4 or 5 miles being so fast.
Yeah.
But I knew that I could hold my own on Estradome. I thought if I could be in contention at the top, then I'd be less beaten up than most folks up there, and I could race pretty hard to the finish.
What did you think early in the race when Chandler Kemp was like 45 seconds ahead of you at the bottom of Estradome?
Yeah.
And pulling away?
That got my attention. Yeah, I was taking some splits out there when I saw him on some straightaways, and from mile 7 to 9, he put another 30 seconds on us, and from 30 to almost a minute, I think.
Yeah.
And we were coming up into Estradome, and by that point I'm thinking, well, we have less than 20 miles left, and these guys are not backing off. And David Dyer was with him too. And,
Yeah.
And he's a solid runner too, and so I was not planning on them coming back to us, and so I caught up right up to Matias, and we started working together up the climb, and we caught David, and then by the turnaround we caught Chandler, and
So you and Matias ran together from about, what, 7 or 8 miles until...
from the bottom to the top.
Okay, so once we got on the single track at 9 mile.
Yep. Yeah, from mile 9
To the turnaround?
to pretty much the turnaround. He
Yep.
led probably most of it when I would try to take the lead, and along that climb, I don't know, I had some muscle tightness going on in my hip flexors, and I was running a little bit harder than I should have. So he ended up running ahead more often than I did up the climb, but he definitely towed us back up towards the leaders.
And you caught Kemp at the turnaround?
Mm-hmm.
And then on the way back was when you started pulling away from Matias?
Yeah.
On the uphills?
Yep. There was a sustained maybe 2-minute climb coming back from the turnaround,
Yeah.
when I started to feel really comfortable in the race for the first time, probably. And I just decided to pull up next to Matias and see what I could do, and see what, how he would respond. And I opened a gap relatively easily. And very, very relatively,
Yeah. And
speaking.
yes. And so at that point, were you thinking now or never?
Maybe, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And did you check over your shoulder at all or around corners to see where Matias was? Or it was like once you were gone, you were looking forward?
I didn't, I can usually hear his footsteps in the climbs. And one second he was right there behind me, and another second he was not there. And I was feeling really good, so I thought, okay, this is my chance to put on some time if I can. And I went for it.
Yeah. And was there some point on the chute, were you aggressive down the chute, or more sort of not too aggressive and then hit it hard at the bottom, or?
I was pretty smooth in my focus and my effort the rest of the way. pretty smooth in the effort.
Was there any point before you pulled onto the field at the end where you're like, I know I've got it now, or you're just running scared all the way to the finish?
No, I was really enjoying myself.
Yeah.
I was really in the zone, running well, and I remember thinking it must have been around mile 23, 24. I had the thought, wow, I'm close to the end of a marathon. I don't feel like it. And I thought I could keep on going if I had to.
Yeah.
And so I just kept on running strong and seeing what I could do. At that point, I realized I was on a good pace.
Good.
I wanted to see what I could really do.
Okay.
And,
Did you have any crew out there, or were you just taking aid at the stations?
yeah, I had a friend, Todd List,
Okay.
on a bike, and me a couple feeds.
Cool.
Yeah.
And so the course was a little different from how it was 2 years ago when you were here. I don't think it was 10 minutes faster, but did you like the new course? The new sections?
Yeah, I like the ones that made the course shorter.
So the single track section at the bottom of Estradome, that made it longer. Did you not enjoy that one so much?
I did. It wasn't the fact that it was longer or a different type of
Yeah.
terrain, but it was the sinuosity of the
Yeah.
trail that really threw me off. Right after you make one corner, you have to accelerate and then slow down for the next corner and re-accelerate. That's hard.
Yeah.
That was really hard.
I urged you to look it beforehand, but you didn't get here early enough, I guess.
That's okay. When I got here the day before,
Yeah.
I checked out some sections, but I didn't want to know everything.
Yeah.
I wanted to leave it to be an adventure. I tend to race better when I don't know everything about the course.
All right. Anything, now that you've been here twice, I hope you plan to come back and maybe try to become a multiple champion, but anything, general comments about the race, now that you've done it a couple times and had a couple of different experiences?
Well, if there's one race that could be called the Alaska Marathon, this is it. It's got everything. It's I don't think you can call yourself a marathoner in Alaska without having run this one. And yeah, it's a great event. The community up here is awesome. I wish we had the cohesiveness of the running club down in Anchorage like you guys have. We're a little too big down there in Anchorage. That we're all kind of going in different directions. But it's a really neat, great event with great people.
All right, Eric, thank you very much. Eric Strabel, 2012 Men's Equinox Marathon Champion.